Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about one of God's amazing creations, the woodpecker. Have you ever heard that rapid tap-tap-tapping sound when you're outside? That's probably a woodpecker. These special birds were designed by God with everything they need to do their important job in the forest. Woodpeckers are famous for, you guessed it, pecking wood. They use their strong, pointy beaks to tap on trees. Some woodpeckers can peck up to 20 times per second. That's super fast. If we tried to move our heads that quickly, we would get very dizzy. But God made woodpeckers special. But why do woodpeckers peck trees? Well, God gave them this special skill for a reason. Woodpeckers peck trees to find yummy insects to eat. They can hear the insects moving inside the tree, and their strong beaks help them make holes to reach the bugs. They especially like to eat ants, beetles, and caterpillars that hide inside the tree bark. God also gave woodpeckers special tongues. Their tongues are extra long and sticky, perfect for catching insects deep inside tree holes. Some woodpecker tongues can stretch 3 times the length of their beak. Imagine if your tongue could reach all the way to your tummy. When they're not using their long tongues, woodpeckers wrap them around the inside of their skull for safekeeping. Isn't that amazing? When God made woodpeckers, He knew they would need protection for their heads. Pecking wood all day could hurt their little brains. So He gave them special shock absorbers between their beaks and their skulls. It's like they have built-in helmets. Their skulls are also extra thick, and they have a special tissue that works like a cushion. God thought of everything when He created these wonderful birds. Woodpeckers also have super strong neck muscles to help them peck, and special feet with 2 toes pointing forward and 2 toes pointing backward. This helps them grip tightly to trees so they don't fall while they're pecking. Most birds only have 3 toes pointing forward and 1 pointing back, but God designed woodpeckers differently to help them climb up and down trees easily. There are over 200 different kinds of woodpeckers around the world. Some are tiny and some are as big as crows. They come in beautiful colors too. Many have bright red on their heads, and others have patterns of black, white, and even yellow. Each kind of woodpecker is special in its own way. One of the biggest woodpeckers is the pileated woodpecker. It's almost as big as a crow. The smallest is the downy woodpecker, which is about the size of a sparrow. In North America, we can see woodpeckers like the red-headed woodpecker, the northern flicker, and the yellow-bellied sapsucker. What a funny name that is. Did you know that woodpeckers make their homes inside trees? They peck out special holes called cavities where they live and raise their babies. Both the mommy and daddy woodpeckers help make the nest, and they take turns sitting on the eggs to keep them warm. Baby woodpeckers are born without any feathers, and their parents feed them insects until they're old enough to find food on their own. When woodpeckers move to a new home, other animals like squirrels, owls, and bluebirds can use their old homes. God planned this perfectly so many creatures could have safe places to live. Woodpeckers are like construction workers of the forest, building homes for many different animals. Some woodpeckers store food for later too. The acorn. Woodpecker collects acorns and stores them in special holes they peck in trees. They can store thousands of acorns this way. God gave them the wisdom to save food for times when insects might be harder to find. In the Bible, Psalm 104 verse 24 tells us, "How many are your works, Lord? In wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." Woodpeckers are just one example of God's wonderful wisdom in creating our world. Another verse, Matthew 6:26 says, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" Just as God takes care of the woodpeckers and gives them everything they need, He takes care of you too because He loves you very much. The next time you hear that tap-tap-tapping sound, remember that woodpeckers are doing the special job God created them to do. They help keep trees healthy by eating insects that might harm the trees, and they provide homes for many forest animals. Just like the woodpecker, God made you special too. He gave you your own unique gifts and talents. What special gifts has God given you? How can you use them to help others and take care of God's creation? So just remember, boys and girls, every time that you see a woodpecker or hear its drumming sound, You're witnessing one of God's marvelous creations doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that's something to celebrate. Thank you so much for stopping by today.